Welcome back, everyone. We're back with some Mega Man 6. We're counting them down. We missed 2 Mega Mans. That's okay. No one cares about 8 or 7 anyway. Regardless, we have a Siberian Bull with us running some POW percentage. It is yours to take away if you want to explain everything about it. And
All right.
I can have fun.
All right, well, thank you much. So, yeah, hey everyone, I'm Siberian Bull 9, this is Mega Man 6, POW percent. So what does that mean? We're going to do Flame Man first, we're going to get the POW suit, and then every stage after that, we're pretty much in the POW suit all the time, except for moments where we need to slide and or jet. But aside from that, we're going to get this puppy rolling. We're not going to waste any more time. And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so Flame Man stage. This is our only stage where we use the Buster only. So we're going to try and get through this in hopefully 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Because that's generally the time I like to see coming out of this stage. Alright, so one of the things we want to do, make sure we, one, don't die. Two, we got to make sure we collect our E-Tank here in this stage, because we're going to need 2 of them as we do this category. If we don't get the one here because RNG decides it wants to rear its ugly head, we can get a second one later. But generally, we want to get it in this stage. As we make our way through the oil fields in the early section here. As we defeat my greatest foe, the ladders. Always have trouble sometimes getting off the ladders, just get hung up on them. Alright, so here we go. That's one of our 2 E-Tanks that we're hopefully only going to need through this seed. We'll get a third free one later, but right now we're only focusing on the 2. Wow, get up there. Get in the door, please. Thank you. Alright, so Flame Man, we try and shoot us ahead, we try and avoid shooting at his pillars, and we gotta shoot him dead quick. And maybe not miss our shots. So one of the unique things about Robot Masters in this game, and Flame Man, you know, generally this would be a good pattern, but I am just not doing it right whatsoever. There we go. There's a dead Flame Man. That was at 205 on kill. Generally I was saying 205 on kill, not so much when we exit the stage, because usually I'm looking at kill. But it is what it is. So Flame Man's down, we got our POW suit, and this is where the real fun begins. So we're gonna go to we're gonna go in an order I like to call pain in my behind. And what I mean by that, I mean stages where we might see the most deaths for resets. So we're gonna go to Nightman next. The reason we're gonna go to Nightman is because of the chandelier section. There's a very tight window jump, and if we get it, great. If not, death. Alright, and inhale. Nope, we didn't get it. Alright, so we'll go for the 2 cycle here. The slower cycle. Generally, you can make it on there and make it to the safe zone that's in the middle of the stage. But not so much this time, it looks like. And that's fine. You know, we can do this in multiple ways. Generally, I found out that's much faster. And we'll just wait for the chandelier to come down, and then we'll go. Alright. So we're going to run through here, and we're going to take the D-boost off the drill. And we're going to keep going. Alright. So we're going to make sure now that we got past the chandelier section. We're going to pretty much avoid a lot of our enemies as we go through this stage, outside of the little snake boxes that are coming up in the next screen, as we gotta use a full POW charge to eliminate them. And hopefully we'll get through the secret window after the first one here. Yep, right through the secret window. As that's pretty much a very tight jump, because usually if you do it late, you're going to get hit by the bullet. You do it too early, you're going to jump right into the pit. Alright, so we're coming up to these nerds, and one thing about the PAL suit is it's slow to do its firing, and it pretty much, as you're firing, you're standing still. So instead of firing 2 shots, as those nerds like to take, we're just going to avoid them altogether. And we're going to see that again later on. Alright, so now we're in the bouncy house of Nightman's castle. And we're coming up against Nightman. And, you know, Nightman has that shield. It likes to deflect a lot of weapons and shots. But PAL Suit doesn't care. PAL Suit says, I'm going to punch straight through your shield and into your face. And generally we don't want to see Nightman jump too much. We want to see him stay on the ground, throwing his mace ball, as generally we'll get 2 shots in every time. He is not cooperating. Nightman doing Nightman stuff. There we go. Now he's out of there. Alright, so that will go to Pain in My Behind stage number 2, and that's Centaur Man stage, which actually has gone down the ladder recently because of how I've been approaching it, which probably at this point should be stage number 5. But we're going to go there anyway because that's what my splits say. Alright, so Centaur Man stage here. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to try and take as little damage as possible to get through this stage. Generally we want to see probably a little more than half health, 3/4 health as we approach the Centaur Man door, as generally we're going to tank that fight. So pretty much here comes the real trick section in the underwater right here, as we're going to take our time and deboost off the bullets and use as much of the iframes as we can. There we go. And jump. And we're going to make it through this underwater section right here in one go. We're pretty much not going to stop. We're going to take a deboost off this enemy right here and make it. And we're through that section, and yeah, we took a ton of damage through that, and I'm not exactly happy about seeing that. We're going to take a pit stop at Eddie here and see if we actually get some health to make it through. He gave us an E-tank, so we didn't get betrayed by Eddie. Good job, Eddie. We did not get betrayed by Eddie. Alright, so the Centaur Man coming up, this is how it's going to work. We generally want to see him walk, much like in NE and 100% for Mega Man 6. But we really want to, but what we're going to do is we're going to use what we call is the half charge shots, and they do 3 damage as opposed to doing regular shots or full charge shots, because those only do. We're going to do as many of the half charge shots as we can possible. If he teleports, we're going to hit him with the half charge shot, and we're going to stop him from doing his splash, which would freeze us. And we're going to hit him with that as he's coming out of his teleport. And he gave us the walk. Alright, we're going to take a safety E-tank just to be safe. Wow. Apparently just going to miss it all. There we go. Centaur Man goes down. I'll do much better in the refights, I swear. Alright, so we're gonna go to Windman next, as pretty much, we're gonna do some dangerous jumping here. And there's a good chance we might get what's generally called six clipping, where generally you pretty much land at the edge of the platform, and sometimes the game might decide that you're not on there, so I'm gonna push you out and push you into the pit. But let's see what happens. As we go through the early section here, we're going to decide how these pandas fire their little shots off, as generally we rather see them shoot the vertical shot there. And we use the propellers here to boost ourselves up. No point in jumping, as that's generally not faster. We are actually going to jump on this propeller. Hit that enemy. That one. Alright, here we go. Here comes the dangerous jumps, and you gotta make sure you always punch the screen to make it move. And we got the dangerous jump out of the way. So that second jump is usually the one where you could die. That's a gigantic gap there, and you either get it or you fall right into the pit. Take all the damage boosting through the pandas. I'm gonna go through one more section with the pandas coming up here. And hopefully we time this just right where we can we didn't time it right. Generally, you can make it through that section without stopping, but apparently I didn't do it right that time, which is fine. It is what it is. So we're going to take on Windman, and one of the things we're going to do is we're going to bully him. Anytime he tries to lift off, we're going to put a full charge shot into him and knock him down like a cat. Just like that. And just like that, Windman goes down, as he doesn't get to do anything. So one thing the Pal Suit likes to do is likes to reset the 6 bosses timing. So generally, the 6 bosses do, if they do an attack and does it a second time, it has to go to the second attack. But the Pal Suit, what it will do is, if the Robot Master is doing an attack, if you hit it with a full charge shot, it resets that timer, so he's back to 1. Or I guess back to 0, 0s and 1s, whatever. Because robots. Alright, so we're in America stage, and I know we're in America stage because there are cowboys here. And we're going to take on the upcoming Met Tank here, and the Met Tank requires 4 full charge PAL shots into it. And we're going to hit 1, 2, kill the tiny Met, 3, 4. Play hopscotch over the tiny Mets there, and we're going to hope that we get. I probably should have waited on Eddie, but it's fine. Hopefully, the little skull enemies coming up here will drop a health for us, or maybe not. You know, 6 likes to be stingy with its drops because 4 and 5 you get a smorgasbord of drops. Sometimes in the extra life category. But 6 is very stingy about drops. And we're going to deboost off that guy. And here's another Met Tank. We're going to, again, hopefully, and do it right, get 4 shots into the tank. By the way, we got our second E-Tank now in this stage. And there's a small health, that will work. as we blew up one of the boxes earlier, as the Pal Suit has the ability to sometimes just decide to destroy, you know, boxes. Because they're in the way. We don't have time to wait on things. We got some places to go, so sometimes it's just better off utterly destroying them with a punch. Alright, so we're coming up to Tomahawk Man here, and we're going to play Jump Rope with Tomahawk Man. We want to see him do his little headdress attack, and we just want to see him throw his tomahawk. We don't want to see him jump so much, as we'll nail every half-charge shot into him. And maybe I'll just jump right into him and die. So yeah. Generally seeing him jump is not good, as it kind of just throws off the rhythm as you are trying to get going with this fight. There we go. There goes Tomahawk Man. Alright, so that's... I don't know, I can't count. 5 now. Alright, so with that, we're going to go on to Canada stage. I mean Blizzard Man stage. As, for those unfamiliar with the story behind this game, is, this man named Mr. X appears, and he claims to be Dr. Wily's master. So he decides to have a world tournament featuring the world's strongest robots. And generally it's a worldly theme. We got Blizzard Man representing Canada, because, yeah, sure, why not? These things aren't Canada, right? Seals, ice, curling pucks coming up, and underwater subs. Alright, so we're gonna make it through on this section here. And hopefully we get the all the frames. Nope. That's a very tight window, that jump there, so it's not surprising that I didn't get that. So we're gonna deboost off the squid ice here and make it our way through. And now we're in the underwater underground subsection here. And we're gonna essentially, we're more or less gonna 2-cycle this, as generally, because PAL doesn't slide, you know, it's not exactly a speed suit, it's meant for, you know, PAL. But interestingly enough, Mega Man in the PAL suit actually moves as fast as he does in 1 through 5. He actually walks faster in the normal suit in this game, but when he's in the PAL suit, he actually walks at the speed of 1 through 5. And we're going to deboost off that and get all the iframes to avoid the squid there. And we're in the door. Alright, so we're going to take on Blizzard Man here. So this is how it's going to work. Hopefully he does his Blizzard's attack, as we'll put our half-charge shots into him. But if he rolls, what we're going to do is we're going to let him hit the wall. Wow, he's actually giving me a real good pattern. I'm not taking advantage. He's going to hit the wall and hopefully not get hit as he does it, and we'll nail him every time he comes out of his roll. And down goes Blizzard Man. Alright, so that's number 6. We're going to go on to Yamato Man stage next. So what's going to happen is, generally in any 100%, you go up. PAL, we're actually going to take the down route. Because down there, we're going to see an enemy that you generally don't see in any of those routes. The little ninja frog. Because, yeah. And what we're going to do, hopefully as we walk through that, into that section and he spawns, hopefully he throws his little bombs that he does. And if he does, what we're going to do is we're going to use a full charge POW shot here, and we're going to reflect a bomb right back into the frog. Or not. Or maybe, yep, just like that. So the bomb actually does 2 full charge POW shots into the frog. So generally, optimally, and we're going to pick up the E-Tank just for safety. Optimally, we want to see him throw the bomb, reflect it into him, and then 2 full charge POW shots into the frog. And this is a required slide. And we won't be sliding again until much, much later. Alright, so we are coming up to the Yamato Man fight, and what we're hoping to see is, Yamato Man generally has 2 forms of attack. One, he jumps and fires a spread shot of his spear. The other attack is on the ground, where he fires his spear and then he has to walk over and pick it up. The way that we want to see him do that. The reason we want to see him do that is because he every time I put a full charge POW shot into him, he stops and then he has to start up again. So we want to see him do that, and we want to make him go take the time to pick up his spearhead. Alright, we're going to take a seat to E-Tank. Just like that. There we go. And of course, you might see this a lot in 6 runs, is move to the right to make the explosions get off screen faster so the fanfare can play. Alright, and we're off to Plant Man stage. So, what's going to happen here is 1, we'll hopefully get through the stage in one go, and 2, I won't have a heart attack, because this stage is scary. No matter how you think about it, this stage is just straight up scary. Especially the second half of the stage. The other reason we come to Plant Man last is because this is actually where Jet is. We don't really need Jet until castle stages. And the other reason for that is because I'm an idiot, and instead of just pressing left to go to the POW suit, I tend to hit right on the D-pad a lot. So in order to avoid having to hover over Jet, I gotta save those frames. So we do plant last for that small reason. Outside of that, there's really no reason to do plant last. It's the fight itself is really easy. Yeah. Now we take on our last Gorilla Tank here. What we want to see the Gorilla Tank really do is we want to see him fire his fist, as it takes a longer time for it to come out, and we can avoid that as opposed to the spread shot it does. And here we go. Hold your breath, folks. No matter what category you're running this game in, this section is always scary. And we're going to take our time. It's going to be nice and easy with it. I don't know how close that was to being hit. But, yeah, we made it through the last screen there, and I'm very happy because I didn't die. So now we're going to take on Plant Man. Generally what we want to see him do is, obviously, he pulls up the shield, he fires, and he runs. We want to see him do it the furthest away from us as possible, and he's not going to give us that. Oh, now it is. Because we can get 2 of our half-charge shots into him, because he's got to run across the screen and to us before he decides he wants to put up his barrier again. And down goes Plant Man. So, 8 Robos down. And we're going to move on to X1. And, you know what? I'm going to try a thing in this stage that I just saw recently. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but if I do it, it would look great. If not, it's early. We got time. I hadn't practiced it either. I just saw it. I was like, maybe I could do that.
Speaking of time, we still have time to get those donations in for the Mushroom Cup versus GP Showcase, along with the 3 polls and the Bid Wars. Get those donations in, guys. We are less than $60 away from hitting our second goal of $1,500. I'm just kidding. No, I'm right. Sorry, my math is poor. $60. Get those donations in. Put them towards those incentives and those polls. Let's hit that 1,500 mark.
All right. Alright, let's see if I can get this. Nope, didn't get it. Alright. I failed. So, recently, a newer strat was discovered where you pretty much switch to jet and you fly in a tight window in between the spikes and that cannon there to get to the ladder. Having never practiced, I'm not surprised I didn't get it. So, it is what it is. Bail out! And we're going to take the secret tunnel. That's exclusive to PAL. Generally in any 100% they take this route too. But, you know what? It's still exclusive to PAL. And we're going to take on Rounder here, who I always like to look at as the Batman enemy, because generally it's the same enemy, in my opinion. Generally we're going to put full charge PAL shots into it, and we're going to knock them back and forth. And maybe do it right. But apparently not. Apparently I just do everything wrong. Alright, so we're coming up to what I generally refer to as the main event. And the reason this is the main event, those E-Tanks that we generally, we have 2 right now. The others were, fortunately, 1 free, and 2, the other one was a safety, and I've squandered them both. Generally, we want to come to this stage with 2 E-Tanks, primarily for this fight coming up. So this is the main event. The reason that there aren't more times on the boards in this category is because of this fight. As we make our way across the collapsing bridge, and this is our second actual use of jet. And you'll see more jet in the next stage, but hopefully minimalized. Wow. Could these Mets just die for me, please? That'd be great. I'll wait for that guy. Alright, so this is the power piston. Power piston likes to stay on his wall, and he likes to go up and down. And the only way POW can do damage is at its lowest point. That is the only way the POW suit can do damage to the power piston. And this is the fight where, you know, you could be on PB pace as you're doing it, and then the power piston decides, no, not anymore. And looks like power piston is gonna give me the bad. Oh. He's really giving me the business tonight. Yeah, let's take our last D-tank here. Wow. There we go. Yeah, so that's the reason why people don't run this category. Alright, X3. So X3 works like this. In the first Seesaw section, we actually have to manipulate the plungers. And more specifically, we only really need to manipulate one. The reason we gotta manipulate it just right is because later on, the second section of these plungers get affected. So we only need to really worry about is the next one. So this one right here. We gotta make sure the left joint is below the background joint, and because of that, that'll set up the rest of the stage for us, and we won't have to switch to Jet. And that's how we do this stage in POW. And the other thing we're gonna do is in the area coming up, because we have destructible blocks, we're gonna take the bottom section and get another safety E-tank, because sure, why not? This run's going swimmingly. So safety E-tank gained. And this is the one we have to worry about earlier on. The plunger we set up that second one there, and it was in the right spot, and we were able to, if I nailed my shot as intended, it would have been just fine. But, you know, the D-boost also allows us to stay on that platform. And generally you're going to get hit there anyway, so might as well. Alright, so we're going to take on Matangra Z. For those who love their animus, this is definitely what it's meant to be. And I'll form the head. This is also the 90% strat, is use POW and just lay into him. And he gave us a good pattern. They make me chase him. So down goes Matangra Z, and we're on to X4. So I've been deciding whether or not I'm going to go for Glory here in this stage. And you know what? This run's going well enough as it is. So sure, why not? So what do I mean by that? So in the last screen, in any N 100%, generally runners are going through that section with Night Crusher out and just walloping these cannons, which are entirely RNG based. More importantly, there's a cannon above the door, the boss door. And near that cannon is a pit of death. Usually that gets destroyed as you're going through with Night Crusher. But we're in POW. We don't have Night Crusher. We don't have that option. So we're going to go for Glory here. So what do I mean by that? We're just going to jump and hope that the cannon doesn't kill us. Because sure, why not? This run's going well enough as is. I need the boost. I need the mental boost. Alright, here we go. And here we go for Glory! And we made it. Okay. No death. Alright, so we're coming up to the Crusher Ball, Mr. X, and we're gonna bat it like a cat, because that's what you do with PAL Suit. Depends on your preference. It depends on your preference. With Buster, you at least have a bit more movement. You're at least moving faster. With PAL, you're destroying the bosses much faster. And generally, with Buster and PAL, Power Piston's going to be the same annoying spot for the runner. So, it is what it is. And some reason I gold splitted on Mr. X there. So, small victories. Alright. By the way, it turns out Mr. X was Dr. Wily all along. Who'd have thought? Certainly didn't see that coming. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Did you see that coming? I didn't see it coming. Alright, so we're in Wily 1 here, and we're going to take a lot of damage on our way down. Hopefully we'll get lucky and get an extra health drop along the way. But the reason we picked up that safety E-Tank is pretty much for the Mechsaur fight coming up. As we make all the fall in here, and hopefully we'll split the uprights here. Yep. Alright. D-boost off the Joe. And we're going to switch to Jet here, as it actually is needed here. And there we go. We're going to take the D-boost off the ice block here from the squid. And we're going to jump, just make sure we get all the iframes. And nope, no health from the Joe. Alright, so coming up is the Mechsaur. And the Mechsaur likes to send out platforms in order to do damage to its head, and we're gonna plug them with many shots we can. You can actually do an interesting thing in POW with these platforms. Essentially, you could sit back here and knock them right into them. But there's a problem with that. One, it's slow. Two, it only does 1 damage. And we don't have time for that. So pretty much we picked up that safety E-Tank for this fight, primarily. Let's say, for instance, so the other reason we picked up 2 E-Tanks along the way, too, is let's say Power Piston actually went well, and you only used 1 E-Tank, this is where you would use that other E-Tank. Because you're pretty much taking a lot of damage to get through Wily 1 quickly, and this is where you would tend to use it. Because Mechsaur is all RNG when it shoots its fireballs, so you're pretty much at its mercy. But we're past that, and we're on to Wily 2. more curling pucks to destroy. And this will be our second use of sliding, and our last use. As we're going to be taking the upper path because, yeah, that's what the game said. That's what the category requires. So we got more nerds up here, and we're going to avoid as many of them as possible. Except for this guy, as it is actually fast to kill him with the 2 shots, and this guy. As we missed our second shot, but you know what? We used all the iframes. So here comes the jump section with the nerds, as it's generally faster to just deal with all the lag and jump your way to victory, except for this last one. Alright, so we're coming up to the Wily tank, the W tank. It is the worst boss design I've ever seen in any Mega Man game, as it's generally a cannon on a tripod. Get me out of here. Alright, so we're moving on to refights here. So, the first section here is an underwater section with fans, and hopefully we get through it in one go here. Yep, just like that. Switch to Jet. And we're going to go and start refights. So, if you have to make any really elongated announcements, now is really a good time. I did not know those were going off. Oops.
Reminder that we still have that one target for the Super Mario Kart Mushroom Cup versus GP Showcase for tomorrow. That's $11 away from being reached. We still have the 3 polls going for the Cyber Shadow, Shadow's Color, the Shovel Knight Showdown for the 2 characters, and the Spyro Area Igniter Trilogy Color a bit for. This is all going towards Child's Play, which is an organization that is working with over 185 hospitals worldwide, helping children in their times while they're at the hospital, whether it be for music or entertainment or whatever it may be, to help them get through that time when they're there, make it easier for them and have a little fun. So get those donations in. We are less than $60 away from reaching our second milestone of $1,500. Keep it coming in. You guys have all been wonderful and amazing. Thank you all.
Yes, keep at it. Let the childrens have fun. Alright. As we were there, I thought I was gonna have to use the free E-tank I picked up. Alright. So, I'm going to show you a little fun pattern we can do with Plant Man as we have the Pal Suit. So we're going to put all the full charge shots into him, and we're going to make him go in a loop. Alright, here we go. Oop. Alright, we're coming up to the... Speaking of clean, we're coming up to the cleaner. We're coming up to Wily here. And, yeah. We don't need to angrily wait for him to be in his capitals, because pretty much we can just use full charge PAL shots and just plug away on the machine here. Just the first shot there. And we mistimed that. If you time it just right, you can get a full charge shot into the cleaner as he's switching in between states, but we missed it. So pull the lever, here goes the casino. As you see, we're already less than half health here. And time! So yeah, that's Mega Man 6 Power Percent. Yeah, hope you had a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the marathon. And I hope you enjoyed watching this run, and I hope you donate to the cause. So yeah, thanks for having me. I was glad to be here.
Any shoutouts or anything you'd like to throw out?
Shoutouts to Mooncuse, because he's up next with Jet Percent in Mega Man 5. A pretty interesting meme category. And shoutouts to the Elpis, as he's the only other person to do this run. He is my predecessor in this, but he hasn't done this category lately. So shoutouts to the Elpis.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, Sir. Thanks for showing us such a unique category amongst all the other ones. We'll be right back as we keep counting down, and Mega Man 5 is up next with a TAS run.